Yo, what is up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to a new era of Night Trap Podcast. Yes, we're back again. I always say we're back, but definitely this time, there's just a lot of work to do. I have a quinceañera to do and all this stuff, so, you know, it's gonna be here and there. But we do have a review for the new movie coming out on Friday. It's not even out yet. But I'm not even gonna say how I got tickets to the VIP showing. The VIP showing. Just kidding. I actually won them on the radio. Listening to some oldies and shit. Called in. I got it. I'll put the footage in.
Town. Not only that, we're throwing in a blue Beetle T-shirt and also a blue head, blue Beetle.
A blue head?
Bobblehead. That's what I meant to say. It's really cool. You're gonna enjoy it, man. Just come by tomorrow and pick up your prizes and enjoy a great movie. Congratulations, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
But they gave me a T-shirt, which is pretty cool. They gave me a little Funko Pop. It's a really small one, and 2 tickets, of course. So we did get there a little early so that we could get, you know, good seats. We kind of went to the top. We didn't know that we had VIP, and we could have seated in the VIP section. But nevertheless, it was cool. Had a great time. But let's talk about the movie. I do have some gripes with it. I do have some good things. There's good things and there's bad things, and just some like nitpicky kind of things that whatever. Before we start, sorry if I'm not wearing a mask, and it's because I think I'm gonna stop wearing a mask. I want you all to see who I am. I'm not scared anymore. I think that it's been a while. I'll still use masks and stuff every now and then, but for now, let's get on with it. Go see my movie too, Chuco Midnight. It's here on the channel. It's been doing pretty good. We still have a screening in November 2nd, and hopefully I'll do more shorts, and eventually it'll be a full feature. So now let's start with Blue Beetle. So Blue Beetle, you know, the superhero from El Paso, Texas. He wasn't original from El Paso, Texas. I'm not completely sure. I'm not gonna be like all nerding out and shit about this because I don't really know the story. All I know is that, you know, he was turned basically into the Blue Beetle from El Paso, Texas, in 2000. I think it was 2003 or 2006, somewhere around there. But that's when, you know, he became, I would say, the most famous, because he really wasn't that famous. One of those side characters kind of thing. So this movie is set in Palmera City, which that's one of the gripes I have. Yeah, a lot of people are gonna say like, well, you know, they didn't have to use El Paso because, you know, Metro City, Metropolis, and all these other fake places in DC Universe. That's why they wanted to set this one in a fake place. But in the movie, they do mention actual places like Sonora, Mexico, which I'm like, well, how come you didn't make that up? Makes no fucking sense to me. To me, you know, they might have an explanation. Also, they didn't use El Paso like at all, and I could see some scenes where they could have used it. It's mostly Puerto Rico by the way it seems, and the city's not like its own character, so they could have used El Paso, to be honest. They could have used the CGI El Paso, even like just CGIing the fucking building for Accord or whatever the company is. But whatever, we have to move on from it. You know, they do live in El Paso Street, I guess. Little nod to that. They drink Old Sheepdog brewery beer, which, you know, shout out to Old Sheepdog. Nice fucking accomplishment there. That's badass. And what I will say about the movie is it's good. I kind of said it like, it's good. The way I say it is because if you're not from here, from El Paso, or if you're not a Mexican American specifically, almost, I would say maybe like Mexicans, yeah, like, completely Mexican, you're not gonna get it. We Mexicans are all about family, as you've seen in Coco and in the Book of Life. I think those are really good depictions of what the family is. We do have the strong, grandma, the one that defends for everything, to everybody, no matter what. We do have deaths in the family where like brings us closest together. It's pretty cool. I do like that aspect of it, of the family, of the being proud of the first kid, leaving college with a degree, of all those kind of like, I would say, stereotypes. They're not really stereotypes, but it does bring us together. We do have, all of us have the uncle. George Lopez plays the uncle that fixes everything. In this movie, he's like a fucking computer genius apparently, but we all have that uncle, the one that fixes everything. We have one in this household, for example. But so, yeah, like all those things are cool. The switch in English to Spanish all the time. That's an El Paso thing. If you even see my movie, The Truco Midnight, sorry to bring it up again, but we speak English and Spanish because that's how we are here in El Paso. That's what represents us. It's our Spanglish, and it's good. The action, I like the story kind of. It's a very run of the mill story. It's kind of like the Spider-Man story almost. Origin story, superhero. Somebody dies. They become stronger. They have a motivation. All the tropes that superheroes goes to. He's kind of dumb and like clumsy and stuff, like Spider-Man was at the beginning when he barely becomes Blue Beetle. It's a sentient being that lives inside of him and starts becoming part of him. I do like the story of the bad guy. I think it's a pretty cool story. Susan Sarandon plays the head of that corporation or whatever, and I mean she is pretty evil. She doesn't really do much. She talks a lot, I guess. And it's a cool movie for what it is. I think us as El Pasoans should be proud of the depiction of us. At some points, it does get a little bit cartoony with and I don't even know if cartoony is the right word, but it does get a little stereotypical, I guess, with the Mexicanisms and stuff. I do feel like they could have used a little less. They really throw it in there. There's a few nods to a bunch of, Mexican culture stuff, like Mariela del Barrio, like my favorite, wait, let me go get it. My favorite, El Chapulín Colorado, which is, it's one of my favorite series. From when I was a kid, I'm not gonna say it's one of my favorite series ever, because I never followed it like it goes, but it is like what's it called, like comfort food for me. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They do nod him because pretty much he's the red grasshopper. So Blue Beetle, red grasshopper. So that's pretty cool. It's awesome. Felipe Esparza has a cameo. Sorry if I ruined that, but it's not a very big cameo. But I like the movie. The action's pretty cool. There's a lot of CGI, of course. A lot of blue and orange being thrown around in there. I do like it's a little bit more lit than the other DC movies. I like it more than than Batman and Justice League and all those other DC movies. I would put it up there with Suicide Squad, the second one, the James Gunn, and with Wonder Woman, the first one. I would say all the other ones are kind of shitty. This one feels a little bit more Marvel-y because it does have a lot of jokes, it does have a lot of stuff. Another gripe I had with it was that the grandma, they had to make her like a fucking Terminator, saying that she was part of the revolution, which makes no sense because she would have had to have been like over 100 years old. I wish they could have changed that, but be that as it may, I think it's a fun movie. I had fun. I was never bored. I was always looking for that, El Paso flair in it. I was always looking for what's the next things they're gonna say. I do think they could have thrown some, El Paso in jokes in there, like, like do you want to go to Chico's? They don't have to say Chico's Tacos, for example, but they could say like, man, I just had some Chico's, shit like that, which I wish they would have done. But as it is, I think it does. It's a little bit more broad, so like the whole United States is able to like it, even though I do believe that a lot of white people are not gonna get it, and they're not gonna get the family part. They're not gonna get the speaking in English and Spanish. They're not gonna get a lot of things, which is fine. This movie's, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I do like everything that they had. I had fun, going to this movie with my wife, of course, and it was pretty cool. I took a picture with the suit. They had a suit there for at Tinseltown at Cinemark. I took a picture there. I'll post it so that you guys can see it. And I was wearing the same exact outfit, so whatever. I just put it on for the show. But it's a cool movie. I mean, I did like it. I'll be looking forward to seeing it again once it comes to streaming. It'll go probably to Max, HBO Max or whatever it's called now. It'll probably go there. It's a cool, I thought it was cool. It's a little over 2 hours. It didn't feel like it was because I was pretty entertained throughout. Hopefully, once I watch it again, I can see more things that I missed. Things like that. But I did like it. My gripes were just, not enough El Paso in it. I wish there was more El Paso in it. And what else was it? I do like the music. That's another thing. So I like the music. It's very 80s. The soundtrack, the score is very 80s synth. I love that. I'm, totally 80s, fucking guitar kind of person. So I love that. And the soundtrack is, like all Mexican stuff. So like La Chona, Tigre del Norte. It has Selena. It has some reggaeton. It has, all the Latino stuff. Some songs, some cover songs that from back in the day, or like Luis Miguel, for example, that are in Spanish. So yeah, like, pretty run-of-the-mill, Mexican culture that we listen to, that it's in our language, and it does have also English artists, which notably in one of the scenes it's Molly Crew with Kickstart My Heart. So it does have other things too. So it's a pretty cool. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I would say 8 out of 10 for us El Pasoans here, being proud of being Hispanic, being Mexican. I do love, all the characters, especially the family. I do believe that, a lot of Mexican families are like that. I'm not gonna say all Mexican families, but a lot of Mexican families, especially here in El Paso, were really like that. So I do like that a lot. The grandma kind of thing, that was kind of like a little too cheesy, because grandmas are like that. But I don't know, man, like to be like 120 years old or some shit, that just didn't make any sense to me. I know that for kids, a 40-year-old is ancient, so who knows. But anyways, 8 out of 10. So hopefully you guys like it. When you go on Friday, you should go support it. They have a pretty cool mural there at Tinseltown. They have the suit. They have photo, like a photo booth that you can take pictures in with the Blue Beetle. They are selling the popcorn, the Beetle, which is that chip. It's pretty cool. So if you guys can go watch it, have the whole experience, that's fucking badass. We do need to support this movie just because it is putting El Paso a little bit in the map, even if it's not there. It is made with El Paso in mind, so at least we have that. Congratulations to old Sheepdog and Gus, which we had here for an interview, for being in the movie, where the bottles and the the little fucking growlers and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. So, you know, congratulations, shout out. And with that said, I would say that the other people, the rest of the country, may not like it as much. So don't pay attention to those. Listen to an El Paso and talking about this movie. You know, born and raised here. Well, I was born in Juarez, which is the same. Raised here, so please go see it, support it. 8 out of 10. I know it sounded a little negative at the beginning, but as an El Pasoan, we have to have some nitpicks, but I still enjoyed it a lot. One of the better DC movies. So 8 out of 10. Go see it. Remember to follow us on all social media at Nitro Podcast on Instagram, at Nitro Podcast on fucking Facebook, and on TikTok. And go see my movie, Chuco Midnight. It's right before this video. Go see Blue Beetle in theaters August 18th on Friday. Go watch it. Just fucking have fun with that shit. You're gonna have fun. If you're from here, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have some laughs. George Lopez pretty much almost made us cry. So there you go. But thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video. Later, bitches.
La 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 la.